All right, so what we have here is Balatro. This, this is this is gonna be fun to sit there and try to explain. It's a roguelike deck builder game. Now, don't get it confused with if you see my description video, it's not like that. This is roguelike poker is the best way I can put it. There's not a lot of story here, so I'm basically gonna be spending the time trying to explain how to play the game. I'll go with my history of the game at this point first. I don't have much history. I remember everybody talking about this game. This game won like awards and it being an awesome indie game that everybody kind of just loved and couldn't get enough of. And I remember seeing it and I'm like, the only reason I didn't really want to jump onto it is because I play a lot of stuff on consoles. And I kind of wanted a physical release of the game to come out before I even play it, because if it be an indie game, I don't want to suddenly, disappear and such before I played it. So I spent years just never paying any attention to the game. Well, has it been out for years? Yeah, I believe it probably has been out for years, but however long it's been out, I've been sitting there just hearing people talk about it for a while. And it kind of disappeared off people's like radar. Like they were talking about it, and you mentioned a good indie game, and they'll say Balatro, but it's not too much past that. So I didn't really know anything about the game coming into it other than it's got something to do with poker. So going into it, the only thing I expected is like a roguelike poker, but I wasn't quite sure what to think. But that's really my only history with it. So as far as how the game plays, I'm kind of trying to explain it the best I can, because even after I got done playing and beating the game, I was kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. So basically you go against, let's just call them enemies. Like you have an enemy, and a boss, and they're called blinds. There's small blind, big blind. Okay, what your objective is there's a score you're supposed to have for the match. Let's say at this point is 500, and it's 500 chips. So you're trying to do like in normal poker, you're trying to get 2 pairs, 3 pairs, royal flush, in the regular old poker thing. The more you get of those matches, you get a set amount of points based off the cards themselves. Usually the card number, the base cards is like 10, you're getting 5 4 5 4 4 4, blah blah blah, and then different combinations give you other amounts of points. So you're getting chips based off those, and you're trying to basically get up to whatever the score is, the round score. You have a limited amount of hands. That's as many times as basically you get dealt another deck or whatever, or more cards in your hand. Like say you have 5 cards, use 2 because you're a pair or whatever, and you get 2 more cards, that's using a hand. You have a limited amount of discards. Like basically if you got 3 cards that don't work, don't do anything, you just discard them and get 3 more, but you have a limited amount of times you can do that. You're not hit by every card you discard. You have 1 discard per hand kind of thing. And so you have that. Then as you get up the round points that you need or whatever, you get money based off of that one. I still don't understand. You get a certain amount of money based off basically just winning the battle, and then you get it due to something called interest, which I think is like certain small achievements you do within the match, like having 5 cards in your hand by the end still, or something like that, or making a certain amount of matches. You get money for it. It's not a lot. They're all based off $2, $3, $4, $5. You're not gonna have a bunch of it. You're getting them in like really small amounts of dollars. And then you have your ante, which your ante is supposed to be, in order to beat, let's say beat the game, I'm doing it in quotes, is one, you guys supposed to win 8, not 8 matches, 8, let's call them in a way, what do we call them? Okay, you have to beat basically 2 small binds and 1 large one, which is the boss. Beating all 3 of those gives you 1 ante. So basically you're going through 3 sets 8 times is what you're supposed to be doing. And they also count, how many rounds you've done in. I don't know if that's really important at the moment. If you ever watching my gameplay, you can see it'll say like 3 rounds. I don't know if that holds any importance other than what the jokers do, which I'll explain that in a bit. So going past that, okay, so after you've had your match, you've won, you get a chance to go to a shop. And in the shop, you have a bunch of options to do different kinds of things. You have your Joker cards, which kind of give you random, it could be buffs, it could be nerfs. It basically changes what your situation of playing the game. A good example is, let's say you get 20 points for a 2-pair match. So every single time you do a 2 of a kind 2-pair match or whatever, no, those are different. A 2 of a kind, let's say 2 of a kind, you get 20 points for every 2 of a kind. So every time you get 2 of a kind in the hand, you're getting 20 points. And then there's also ones where it can change your multiplier, because some of your multipliers change. Like also whenever you do some of these matches, you get multipliers. So you get your regular chips and they can multiply by 2, 4, 10, 20, 50, whatever, such like that. So the Joker cards basically change either your multiplier or how you do stuff, how many points you get. It's so many different things. That is the big roguelike part of it, that buying the Joker cards, which also come in at random. Like they're there, you can buy them, and what they do, buff, debuff, whatever, changes how you play the game. That is a huge part of the game that changes. If you ignore that completely, you're not gonna get far, because you're meant to use those. Then you get tarot cards as well. These give you also small kind of buffs. Like these are all small temporary kind of buffs that may last a hand, a deck, or something like that. I didn't use them that much, because to me, I just would buy Jokers, and I like having my buffs be something I can kind of control and bounce off of, not like oh, you bought this tarot card, so now it changes all your cards into hearts. That may be good for one round or one fight or something like that, and it's gone after that, and it's like, now what? I'd rather just be able to work off of getting different Jokers and doing that. And then you could also buy more regular cards, which, like, say you can get like a 6 of diamonds, you can put in your deck. So now instead of like, normally there's only like I believe in a regular set of cards, there's like 2 of each base card, or each kind of, diamond and club and stuff like that. So you can buy more of those cards, so you can get them more frequently, so you can get your pairs, royal flushes, and stuff like that. And that's basically how the game goes. You're just playing poker to match up to a set of points, because you're not really playing against the opponent or doing anything. You're just they're basically saying you have to have 1,000 points, so you got to make sure that you play poker enough to get the 1,000 points based off of the cards themselves, the multiplier you get, and whatever these roguelike Jokers you may have bought, that changes how those go. Now, the bosses are a bit different. All your regular matches are going to just be regular. They just may, as you're going through the game, you're just going to take, more points. Going to be like, hey, you got to get 1,000 this time. Hey, now you get 5,000 next time. The bosses can be different. They have a stipulation sometimes where, an example, all of your clubs, all your club cards have a debuff to them. So basically you'll see this red X on all the cards, and basically if you decide to play that card, you don't get any bonuses for it. It won't count towards stuff like, pairs, royal flush, anything like that. It's basically a dead card. So at that point, you might as well just go ahead and cancel it out, because it's not going to do anything being there. But you get all these bosses that force you to do stuff like that, and it's different kind of stuff. The most common ones I've seen is just them debuffing one of your types of cards, and they become useless. And that's really about it. Like, there's not really too much I can say about the game. That's exactly what it is. You're just playing poker, getting to a certain amount of points, and you're basically trying to make sure you get up to whatever that round score is. If you lose, you start from the very beginning of it. And your actual main objective, besides doing that, is kind of collecting all the different kinds of Jokers, all the different kind of Terra cards. Like, if you're the collector type, you just really love doing achievements, you get those kind of things. But if you're just playing just to play it as is every once in a while, just at a random time, it's fun to play for what it is, and you're just going with the luck of the draw. You have some control over what's going on, because like I said, you can buy more cards, you can buy the Joker cards, and kind of build how you want things to kind of work. Whether your 2 pairs give you a bunch of points, or whether your royal flush gives you this amount of points, or you get a multiplier every time you do this. It's like you can control and that's another thing. When you buy the Joker cards, if it's useless to you, you find one better, you can sell, because I think you're only allowed to have five Joker cards and 2 tarot cards. Tarot cards you don't have to worry about so much, because those are kind of like one-time use and they're gone. So those, just use them and they're out of the way. The Joker ones, they stay unless they say otherwise, and you can sell them and get some money back and to buy another one if you want to. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Like I said, when I played the game, my whole focus was just, buying a Joker card, and that's how I just got from the game. It's just enemy, boss. When that, your boss has a certain, way you got to beat them, and then enemy, boss. And oh, another thing that goes to that, you can skip the enemies, and I think it gives you, I forgot what it's called. Basically, it gives you, if you skip, it may give you something like, if you skip, then you start your next match with a 20 multiplier or something of that nature. So you can skip if you want to, but to me, what you're running a risk of, when you skip, you don't go to the shop. So you're missing out on the possibility of getting a Joker card that could help you for getting maybe a buff that maybe could help you possibly. Like I said, it's kind of up to you. Skipping may do better for you than actually, but you're also missing money because you're not getting money unless that skip does give you money, because that's what the whatever, I can't remember what it's called, but whatever that gives you, it may give you money. It's like, here, if you use this skip, it gives you $20 or whatever, and that's what you got. But yeah, there's not really too much else to the game. Like, when I played it, I enjoyed it. I really can't say too much about the graphics of it, because it's poker. I did also, if you're watching the footage, I took off, apparently you can make the background, it has like this animation to it that constantly plays. I didn't want that sitting there playing, because I didn't even want to see it while I was playing the game. I'm not going to force anybody else who may actually be watching the video to watch that. But yeah, the graphics of the game is good. I mean, it's poker. There's not too much that can really be done. Music's okay. It's not really a lot of music to the game, but it's... The music is playing in the background right now. You hear this song a lot, and I got annoyed by this song because it plays in the main menu of my PlayStation 5 every time I go to it. But as I played the game, I wasn't annoyed by it. It actually fit. So yeah, that's really all there is to the game. It's a really fun roguelike poker game. It's just poker. It's just poker with some weird roguelike stipulation to it, and it is addicting. Like, I'm not addicted to it like everybody else is, and I didn't play it a whole bunch of times. I just gave it, like, I think a good 5 or 6 good runs and eventually beat it. But it was fun for what I played. My only complaint to the game, honestly, and it's more of a me problem, this is something I'd rather had been on a handheld console, like a 3DS or something I put in my pocket and I can go somewhere and play it whenever I'm bored. Or I think you could probably play on the phone, but I'm not one of those kind of people. But it's something that would have really worked more handheld than something I sit there and play at home on, say, the Switch or the PlayStation or something like that. It's a very good to go. You got a few minutes to do something, to play and get sucked into. Not really something you really wanted to sit around on your TV and your console really just playing. I mean, some people might do it, but I don't know. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more, and it would even brought more enjoyment. It is something I would have liked to have seen on a handheld console or something like that. One that I can actually, take with me, put in my pocket. I'm not really the type of person that I don't want to bring the Steam Deck around with me, or PlayStation Portal or something like that, which I don't even have that. And I don't want to bring the Switch and stuff around with me. But yeah, other than that, it's a really good game. It works, to me, it works better as a handheld, but it's also something you can definitely play on a console or on the PC, and it's fun. But it's really, to me, it felt like it was built around playing on a phone, for example, since everybody's got that. It's probably perfect and fun playing on that, assuming you can. So yeah, but other words, that's really all I can say about it. Another card game I played was Inscription. I also did a review on that in my Musing About, where I kind of do a review like this, where I just talk about the game in a spoiler-free kind of manner. I also have my gaming motif, which that is on Inscription. It talks about the different acts of that game, which kind of has some similarity to not a lot. There's some little bit elements, but there's, other than both being cards, there's not really too much to it. My gaming motif, that's when I really go into detail, spoilers, everything, talk about anything I want to, go in deep dive about the whole thing. That's what that's about. Other than that, like, subscribe, do all those kinds of things. And thank you very much for watching this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll be doing more reviews like this in other games. And it's not just going to be just regular games. There'll be some indie games I'm going to touch on too sometimes. So, there's also that too. But I appreciate it.